Well, it's finally here, people. I finally own my own building. I'm going to start 2024 off with a bang. What you're looking at is 25,600 square feet of awesomeness. Internal ceilings are about 15 feet in height. This was a banking corporate headquarters. It's about a mile down the road from OGHQ, the original location. We have, I believe, 128 parking spaces and a whole lot of room, basically a blank canvas. Well, I guess it's a scribbled on canvas that I have to wash and clean. But I wanted to take you in, show you what the plans are, what's going through my head at the moment. The size and scale of this is a bit overwhelming. But what I'm going to be doing is taking all of our buildings, right now I have 3 of them, and bringing them all into one spot and hopefully making this place awesome. So come on inside, let me show you what we got. So clearly I have some work to do on the entry, these goofy pillars and the exterior color and all of that. But the bones are good. The base asphalt is good. I'm going to be repaving the parking lot. The sidewalks are great. The landscaping is good. So everything is base good. So I need you to sort of suspend disbelief here for a minute. Stay with me because I'm about to show you a style that doesn't quite fit the OG motif, if you will. But we're going to change all of this stuff over time. And my plan would be to be in here for the next 10 years or so before we go and buy some property and build a big destination type facility. So let's go check it out. So remember, we're in a retiree only area. The reason why I'm here is in 2004, I had a choice to go to Winter Park, downtown Orlando, or come up here to the Villages when I got hired by Merrill Lynch. And I didn't know who I was going to call Winter Park, but I knew that old people are the ones that have the money. And so I came up here, and that's why OG is here in Lady Lake in sort of northern central Florida between Ocala and Orlando. Well, this building was built in 2005, but it was built to, say, 1996 style. So it looks a lot older than it actually is. Everything in here is really nice and well done and clean. It just needs, obviously, a bit of updating. So this entry, I have some big plans for this. I want to have the OG apparel here. We get visitors from all over the world, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20 a week sometimes, where people come when they go to Disney with their family and they come visit us. We encourage that anytime, any day. Come visit, come shop the warehouse. We walk you through, introduce you to everybody, show you what I'm up to. And so I would like to make this an inviting entryway. We'll probably do some tile. Obviously, we have a lot of wallpaper to take down, baseboard updates, and then maybe update the doors and paint those black. But we have some work to do. The good news is that the ceiling really doesn't need any modification. The tiles are nice, the doors are nice. We just need paint, wallpaper removal, new flooring, and new lighting. So we'll do all Cree and Lutron lighting in here as we work through it. So let's go to the left. I'm telling you, this place is massive. It's just shy of 26,000 square feet. So there's a whole lot of space in here, a whole lot of offices that are going to come out. But I'm going to show you the offices we're planning to keep, and then what we're going to take out to build warehouse. We've never had a conference room. We're always kind of meeting in the middle of the parking lot, it seems. And so I'm going to make this a state-of-the-art, get a custom, amazing table built. This room is roughly 18 by 22, I believe. So we're going to be able to fit a pretty significant 16, maybe 18-foot conference table. Conference tables are generally about 4 feet wide, and so this will be where we'll host meetings and invite people. If we're doing garage design meetings, stuff like that, we'll be able to meet with them in the boardroom here. We'll have some great AV, some great tech. I was planning on making this a podcast studio as well, but there's another area I'm going to show you where we're going to build a dedicated podcast studio and really ramp up in 2024. So for the time being, what we're going to do, check this room out. This is like 1,000 square feet. So I think it's a little more than 1,000 square feet. So this is where everybody's going to come for now. We've already started taking out the window treatments. What we'll do in here is we're going to bring all the guys that are in yarn building. They'll come and sit in here and have plenty of room to spare. So we're going to start with putting everybody in this room. And then I'll show you the other rooms we're going to start. We'll basically have a system where we're going to change the lighting, take the wallpaper down, patch and fix the walls, change the trim, so we'll go to a more modern trim, paint the trim as well, get new baseboards, and get new flooring at the end after it's all painted. So we'll do new, probably some sort of modern carpet tile in most of the area. Some areas we'll do, porcelain tile. But we're going to start with putting everybody in here. My assistant Susie will sit in that room. I'll show you where Chris is going to sit in his office. They're the only two that really need a dedicated office because they're talking money and HR and stuff like that. But everybody else is going to come in here. The media team, the tech support team, the design team, the product development team. They'll all come in here, so we'll bring our uplift desks, set them up in here nicely. Bryce has already got internet set up, so we have a dedicated fiber line set up with, I believe, CenturyLink. So we'll have really high speed, really fast internet. We do have an insane amount of, remember this was a banking corporate headquarters, an insane amount of battery backup, insane amount of wired, it's all Cat 5e. We're setting up wirelessly for the moment because we have a lot of, I'll show you what we got to do to figure out the network. And so we'll be able to do a lot of wired connections in the future once we, work through this one room at a time is the plan. So then over here is going to be our dedicated break room, which we've also never had. Everybody's just kind of sat at their desks. I'm going to set this up and we'll obviously do flooring, new lighting, new walls, patch, repair the walls, paint the walls, baseboards, and then I'm going to set this up as a really modern, really awesome looking break room for everybody. Right now we have, I think, 32 employees plus another 10 or so subcontractors. So we'll probably be able to have 100 or so in this building before we outgrow it. And we'll see how that goes in the future, what's needed, what's not. You can see there's an old RCA tube. Seems like tube TVs keep showing up in my life again all of a sudden. I'm having to repent for all my sins of selling too many people tube TVs. But imagine we do Penville or plain and fancy cabinetry, some really high-end stuff with the Folger Milano and Waterstone and all the cool things that we are probably going to sell and represent that we're learning about in the NMLZ project. But I think if you're new here and you've been interested and have enjoyed the transformation project down at the LZ compound, this is going to be even wilder. So I think you're going to want to stay around and see how this thing turns out. It's going to be amazing. So clearly hallways have a lot to do, a lot of work to do. We have, have to take the molding off, update the baseboards, paint the walls, repair the walls. The building is 18 years old. So I have money in escrow. We negotiated. If you're interested in the terms and negotiation and learning about how I bought this thing, what I bought it for, all of that, you go become a member of Inside the Hex, which also qualifies for garage giveaway. If you become a member, you'll be able to, if you care about this kind of stuff with me, negotiating insurance and trying to figure it all out. But right here we have an active leak. So there's from what I can tell, there's only one active leak in this. It's this one here. So I have a conundrum. To do the new roof is well over $100,000 to do it. The original property manager has been pretty adamant with me to say, Matt, look, we've set the money aside, but I think you should just repair the roof. I'm inclined to just fix the darn thing. So we'll see what cash flow looks like as things settle out. Hopefully we have a good spring. Hopefully you guys continue to support like you have been, and I have the cash in order to fix the roof. So the big repair items are the parking lot, which is ready to be done, the roof, and then I'll show you the air conditioning system here in a minute, which is pretty wild how substantial the AC system is. So there's a lot of hallways in here. We're going to remove some of them. This hallway will stay. Let's go into that last, but let's go down this way to where the offices are going to be. Bathrooms are here. There's two, women's, men's, main bathroom. You can see the sailboats and stuff is going to have to come out. It's functional for now. It's clean. It's functional. It's going to work, but it's not going to work for too long. We'll probably set it up where we make it a so if the girls here need to use the bathroom, we'll just have somebody sort of put a sign out or something like that, and they can switch back and forth while we're remodeling one, and then we'll remodel the other. But the intention here, I'd love to do like a wall here and put some like crazy, air filtration in to, so that dudes can come in and they can take care of their business and quiet. But we'll kind of set up the bathrooms. I think that would be a later this year project. For now, they're going to have to function as is. So the intention, we're moving. Well, I'll show you that when we go over to the warehouse to talk about how we're going to make this transition. But check this out. So this is the janitorial closet, and then these guys. So part of the other negotiation of the building is I'm doing all new condensers outside. The air handlers are all good, so we're going to leave these our own. Right now, only one of them is running, and so they'll all be up and running. It's about, I think, about $80,000 that I negotiated in the deal to get the air conditioners basically refurbished. All of the exterior units they're 18 years old. Commercial units, they'll last a long, long time, and so we should be in good shape after the revamp. We're not doing the control system yet. When we walk around the other side, I'll show you the rat's nest of control. We're going to wait to do that after I've taken out all the walls. But you can see this place has pretty sophisticated three-phase wiring, which is great for us, and doing any kind of air compressors or other stuff that we're going to do in the future. Massive panels, lots of expansion room, and we have pretty significant amounts of power here. There's a 150 kilowatt hour generator here as well. It wouldn't power the whole building, but most of it. So remember, there's their entry there where you came in. You could turn right and head down to the office area. Bryce and Tommy, I wish I would have shown you this before, already came in here and started cleaning this up. This is our network room where all the networking home runs, or most of it anyway. And so this section here had a whole sophisticated telephone system, which we've taken out. This room will become, there's a separate air handler mini split here. So likely we will make sure this mini split is functional and operational, because this is where our server will sit, where our NAS will sit, where all the hard drives sit for video editing. And then we'll have hardwired connection to our editing area. This here is another utility room, more power. This has as you can see, rather sophisticated battery backup. From what I would assume, all of the red switches, all of the red outlets are attached to generator and battery backup. So I think the battery backup is likely set up for initial turn off, and then it would hand off to the generator, as there's usually a 20 or 30 second delay on the generator system. And so all their critical networks and critical devices were all probably plugged into those red outlets. So clearly we don't need that, but hey, if we have it, we'll figure out how to use it. So look at this room. This scared the crap out of me. If I thought the Helen house was sophisticated and scared me, this is on a whole different level. The transfer switch here for the generator. As every day goes by, I learn a little bit more about what we have, what this system is, how it's set up. So almost 20 years ago, there was a control system here that controlled, there's all these offices and all this balancing done in here, this really sophisticated air conditioning system. They took that out and did a single on-off, basically. And they probably they did that because the control system parts they stopped making them. And so what we're going to do is we're going to gut a good portion of this place for the warehouse. We'll be putting spiral ducting across. Once we get that all set up, I'll invest whatever it costs, $20,000, $30,000, hopefully less, to do a more sophisticated control system where we can control the AC and sort of balance the facility. We're going to make it quite a bit simpler and remove a lot of the offices. So then down here, did I miss one? No, I'm still trying to figure this place out. Oh yeah, there's another hallway over there. So this room here. So think about it. I know it's going to be confusing. We'll try to show you on the PDF doc of the facility. So this was where they had all their servers. This for us will likely become technical support. The reason for that is this is going to look out into the warehouse. So this wall here will be the start of the warehouse. The wall there, so if I know it's going to be confusing on camera here, but this room is going to come out. And now remember, if you can see up in here, it's dark, but the ceiling is 15 feet high. And so when we remove the drop ceiling, we'll have to take the drywall up to the ceiling, and this will be the delineation line. There are several thousand square feet of hallway in this place that we're going to eliminate 75% of those hallways. It's a lot of wasted space that we don't need, that we're not going to use. Again, this was a corporate office facility. We're going to convert it into a hybrid, sort of destination type, a really sophisticated warehouse / media company is what we are. So we're going to change this up. So all these metal studded walls are coming out. This is where the mess comes in. We're actually going to do this first. So we're going to take out all the walls in between. There's this room, and then there's another room behind it that's identical that goes into the warehouse. So all that's going to come out. We're going to remove this stuff. It's kind of a shame because this room is pretty sophisticated with all its wiring and stuff. We'll likely be able to use these the in-floor chases in the future. But this here, what we're going to do is set up a dumpster. This was a mail room, and so we're going to set a dumpster out this door here. And you can see they have the little magnifying glasses. But this goes out to the side of the facility there, where all the air conditioning. Well, let's poke you out here now. You can see the level of sophistication involved. Look at all the turn-offs for all the different air handlers. There's 72 tons of air conditioning here. We're going to end up decommissioning quite a bit of those mini splits there on the right. But all those units there to your left, they're all going to be replaced. New Freon, they'll use the existing lines, and we're going to update the air conditioning system. I haven't been in this room yet. I need to get the key. I don't have it yet. But that's a 150 kilowatt hour generator, backup generator that runs on natural gas. So again, another pretty sophisticated setup here. You can see landscaping's in good condition. We'll probably end up doing our own landscaping. Trevor's going to be the facility manager here. That's his new role. And so we're going to paint it, set it up, and get the place dialed. You can also see the entire place has aluminum, what do you call that? Gutters. So all the water runs down into the city sewer system. It's extremely well done. Hey everybody, imagine you had a drawer like this. Mine's a little beat up, maybe not beat up compared to normal beat up, but we've been using this for years. But imagine your drawers look like this. And you can have this. This is my only sales pitch to you. Click the link in the description, go sign up. Every dollar you spend gets you an entry into winning your own personal garage. We'll do a Nussbaum lift, we'll do Dynaudio speakers, Rupes polishers, whatever you want. We're gonna set it up. Mike and I are gonna fly. Well, actually first we're gonna fly you to us, and then we're gonna fly to you, and we're going to cut your drywall and run some plumbing and do the electrical, do everything we need to do to make your garage look and feel like mine. Actually, yours will probably be even better. So go get entered to win. The giveaway ends January 15th. We'll draw the winner a couple of days later and change somebody's life. So make sure you get signed up. So this area here will be coming out and become part of the warehouse. This wall's coming out. This wall's coming out. There are support beams throughout. And so right here is where one of the beams are. I have PDF plans. I also have paper plans, so we can see where everything is done and how everything's set up, so we can work off of that. But these walls will come out, and the post will stay there and work around it. So think of this wall coming out, and then the warehouse will come to here. This will be our delineation line, and we'll likely put a doorway here in order to be able to make a connection or set up where, where the ceiling ends, or the ceiling comes out and the drop ceiling starts. And so that down here, it's a whole nother corridor. We'll keep this office for some future use. The area here, this office will stay for future use. I envision this becoming product development, where we have a giant whiteboard all the way across, desks face to face running down the middle here, and then they can develop and work on products. They use the whiteboards a lot. And then I'm not sure what I'll do with this room here, but product development and media works really closely together. So this may become the editing media area. This works out well for that particular application because there are no windows in here. It could also become the photo and product studio, which may make more sense. We'll see how it works out. When we're living in here, we'll get a better feel. What we may do is make that the photo studio and may make this the editing studio. I'm not really sure yet. We could also add walls or subtract walls too if necessary. So this office could become editing, but there are some pretty substantial windows here, so we'll have to figure that out. Down here, there's an emergency exit. We're coming back to the main entrance. This is going to be Chris's office. So Chris is the operations COO. So he'll be right here, right in the in the main hub of the whole facility, where a lot of people come and go through him, where he's executing our strategic plan and working with all the leadership team. So it makes sense for him to be right out front, right where everybody has easy access to him. And then we're back to the entry. So that's about a third of the building. Let's go look at the rest of it. So if you were to come down here, there's going to be multiple entrances into the warehouse. Let's start with the warehouse that currently exists. So today is December 28th? Wait, no, what is today? Yeah. So I closed Friday the 22nd. I wanted to close February 1st because I would have been done with the Adam LZ project. So Mike's down there killing himself, trying to get the Adam LZ project so we can come here and work. I can't get into this office because I don't have the key for it. It looks just like this office. So these are part of this section that's coming out. This wall will come out. This wall will come out eventually. But when we look at our already current existing warehouse, this will give you a feel for what a good half or a little bit more than half of the facility is going to look like when we take out a lot of the walls. So this here is 4,500 square feet. It feels massive. We're going to be taking and transitioning the OGHQ as it currently sits. So my dad and the team from Curated have been out here cleaning the floor, getting the cobwebs out, getting this ready to go. We're about to bolt on Obsessed Garage shipping January 17th, so we have a few more weeks to get the get our occupancy set up, get the fire system operational, make sure everything is good to go, water, sewer, natural gas, all that stuff Susie and Chris are working on right now. They're also palletizing and get things so we can make the move smoothly. I don't want to be down from shipping for more than a few days. So January 17th, 18th, 19th, and then that weekend. I think we'll have it moved in about 48 hours. We'll have it moved, set up. Tommy, Kyle, and the design team have already set up and figured out how the warehouse is going to look and how it's going to be set up. That back wall there is going to be the packing wall. We're going to end up with the conveyors at some point. I mean, you can see the sprinkler and fire system. We're on a whole different level here of sophistication. We'll figure it out. Big, giant 20-foot and then I think 16-foot door. That might even be 22 feet. So the doors are already here. This is already ready for shipping and receiving. And we're going to be able to employ a whole lot more efficiency here now that we have the space and a blank canvas to work with. This wall here, so as I was telling you, those offices, this whole section is coming out. So the warehouse is going to start by going this way. And what we'll do is, remember that wall, that room with all those red outlets. So it is basically the same depth. So it's 20 feet, another 20 feet, another 10 feet. So we have 50 feet. We're going to go this way with it. So what we're going to do is leave this wall up. We're going to put the dumpster on the side of the building. We're going to start taking ceiling tiles down, the ceiling system out, see what wiring looks like. Then we'll start taking walls out, and then we'll start taking carpet out. We'll polish the concrete, and at the very end, then we'll take this firewall out and remove it. And so then we won't be getting dust and dirt on all of our stuff until the very end. And then we'll take this wall out carefully and slowly, and then this whole section will be open to add another 4,000 square feet or so, something like that, maybe 3,000 square feet. So then we'll go from our warehouse currently being 4,500 to about 7,500 is phase one of what we're planning to do. And then phase two will be back here. This wall will come out as well. These are just double, they're basically just, it's a 2-hour firewall where they basically just put double drywall with a fire retardant inside of it. And so that can come out pretty easily. This wall will come out all the way to the utility room, will come out, and then look at this. This is wild. So I told you, this is the good half of the building here. Boom. So this area is going to become warehouse, right? So all total, we'll have about 16,000 square feet of warehouse. I'd say about 15,000 square feet of warehouse, and I haven't shown you my studio yet. But all of these offices are going to come out. Seems like such a shame, but these are all coming out. All those offices are coming out. We'll terminate the warehouse at that wall at the back of the office there. That's the bathrooms. And then these offices in the back will stay. So ceiling comes out. Obviously, these support beams will have to stay. There's 2 more support beams there. But what I'm planning to do is this little bullpen thingy. Well, this was a call center. So they must have the call center manager or something. I'm not sure what they were doing here. But that will come out. This will become my podcast studio. And then likely what we'll do is we'll put a pass-through, and we'll have the production will be in this office here. So this will become the podcast studio production. And then we'd probably, if the podcast becomes big, we'll have a production team. So the producer would maybe make this the office as well as production. This will be a flex office maybe for CFO office. This is going to be my assistant's office long term, Susie. This is going to be blocked off, and this is going to become my lab. And so this will take the ceiling up to 15 feet. We'll do lev rack. My mounting and balancing machines will be put in here, and possibly air compressor as well. This room is pretty significant. It's like, I don't know, 15 by 18 or something, like 14 by 18. And then if we have 15-foot ceilings. The low point of the purlins is 12 feet, but most of it's 15, so we'll have tons of room to go up. And so imagine this becoming big warehouse. So you can see the air conditioning system, the level of sophistication of it is going to go down substantially, but we still have to figure out how to connect, these offices, continue to maintain their air conditioning, as well as doing spiral duct in here. It's going to be a pretty big project and cost a lot of money and be a pretty significant undertaking. In the beginning, we'll probably just leave the ducts hanging the way they are and then figure out how to simplify it as time goes on. Now, this whole wall here is block. So this is insulated. It's soundproofed, insulated block wall. I'm going to grab the ladder. I think this goes all the way to the ceiling. I hope it does. All the way to the roof, I should say, not the drop ceiling. But this is going to become my studio, my garage. Not just here, but it goes another 50 feet that way. So it'll be roughly, this is 28 feet deep. So it's going to be roughly 28 by 90. Be freaking awesome. I'm going to build my office in here as well. This, what you're looking at, is going to be the dry ice studio and wash bay. So dry ice over here on the right. We're going to build and likely do a display glass wall of my air compressor system. We're going to be developing and doing probably more dry ice air compressor systems than we'll do dry ice machines. But this will be my lab or studio or setup for all of the all of the compressed air solution, which will take care of the whole facility. Obviously this server box will come out. The phone system will come out as well, assuming we can. I don't see why we couldn't take that out. And then there will be a doorway that goes into my lab, into my studio, or my mad scientist lab, where exhausts and pressure washers and all the things I'm testing out will go into there instead of sitting in the facility. So 2-post lift here. There will be I'm going to reach out to Rytec and see if I can convince them to be a part of this project. Rytec door, probably a 20-foot wide door, and then this will be the wash area. So we're going to have to cut the floor, put a drain in. It's going to be a pretty significant project. And this wall will stay. This is another block wall as well, insulated block wall. What I plan to do is cut the block wall, put a big giant glass window on the side here so I can look into the wash bay, and we'll also do a doorway into what will be my office, which will be between the two garages. So I've toyed with different ideas of putting my office at the end. I kind of want it in the middle. And it's going to be an office theater, so it's going to be big enough where I can do, audio testing and playing with that kind of stuff, as well as developing desk solutions. Everything in here has a joint purpose. One, looks cool, functions well, but is a product development area. So we're able to try new things and then share new product ideas. That's what the whole point of this place is. But Kyle, I have to credit Kyle, came up with this idea. I was planning on building my garage this way, which would have been a whole lot more work. It's already here, it's already blocked, it's already set up. We just have to cut the wall and put the doors in. And it's, be a whole lot less deconstruction and construction. And then this block wall comes all the way down the side here and opens up into the other section of the garage, which will be the studio with Rousseau cabinets or Sonic cabinets, and the lift, so the scissor lift or lifts. And so picture these offices coming out. So each garage is going to be 35 feet wide with a roughly 20-foot office, 18-foot office in the middle. And so this is that same block wall we just saw in the other section of the garage here. And so what we'll do, this is 11 feet. Probably going to bring this wall out another few feet. And then, so we'll take this wall down, move it. This wall will have to go all the way to the ceiling as well. So we may even do that in block, we'll see. But this would become my office theater setup. And then the main studio would be 35 feet by 28 feet deep. So we'll have basically 2 garages, 70 feet in total length. It's going to be freaking sweet. And so we'll put another Rytec door here. Try to take these windows out. The other thing I forgot to mention, we're going to do an indoor and outdoor wash bay. So in the indoor wash bay, as you're coming in, we'll have an awning, a big covered area, and we'll probably do like a screen or sunlight blocking system as well, where we do a outdoor wash bay. So you can wash outdoors or indoors, and we can develop all the products that go and create making that function. So you can see the parking lot. The parking lot's important to me because we're car people. And so they had skim coated. The base asphalt is really good underneath here, but they put about a half-inch layer on top, and it's falling apart. And so we're doing a whole new layer of finer aggregate, and we'll make sure that we seal it often. The parking lot will be restriped. We have some basic, pine straw to do, basic maintenance, but the exterior of the building looks great. We'll put a OG logo on it, paint it either white or Harbor Gray or something like that. All the trees are in good order. There's quite a bit of traffic on that road, which is the one thing that's going to be frustrating for us. At some point, I'm sure they'll be widening that road, Rolling Acres. But we're paving all the way from the street, which is all part of my property, all the way down to the storage facility. The road there is, starting to show signs of wear, and when we start bringing in big, 18-wheelers in here, the whole parking lot's going to look like this. And so all this in the next couple of weeks will be brand spanking new looking. This was the generator That door there was the mail room that we came out of. The loading and unloading will be here, so there's tons and tons of room for trucks to come in, to enter and exit. So here's our warehouse area. Mike will get up on the roof and take out some of the junk that's up there and clean it up. Mike and Trevor will be up there. And then back here is the secondary parking lot, which is going to be awesome because I'm going to probably put a gate on back here. This is a pretty safe area, but it'd be nice that, if we had, I don't know, something going on, I could lock this up. Maybe someday when I get a boat, we can store it back. Just kidding. I have no intention of doing a boat, but you know what I mean. Who knows? You can park back here. Everybody's going to have their own dedicated parking spot. Maybe someday we'll make some covered parking. Will be kind of cool. And you can see where the doors are going to go back here. So we'll have 2 Brightech doors. My long-term plan would be maybe someday I could buy this facility and we could do all of our storage there. So as we outgrow the warehouse, we can do bulk storage there and then just run down there and replenish. Could be kind of cool. One can dream anyway. But I own the easement here, and then we granted them an easement, so they have an easement to come through. But it's a pretty low volume. I don't see people coming in and out very often. And you can see all the aluminum gutters. They're all running down into the sewer. So we're gonna have to kind of work around that somehow when we do our doors. It's already awesome, but when I'm done with this place, it's gonna be amazing. We put our shed back here and store all of our equipment to maintain the facility, maintain the grass. It's gonna be awesome. So that's it. No big deal. Just, oh man, it's gonna be pretty wild to take a place that looks like this, and I'm hoping you can imagine, what it's gonna look like when I'm done with this. But it's gonna be a wild transformation, very similar to the LZ compound house, where we'll see a 90s, mid-90s styled, really well built, really well done building, and then turn it into functional excellence. That's the plan. So I'm hoping you're game for this journey. I hope you keep buying stuff so I can afford to do all this. The move, if you again go become a member inside the Hex, talk about the numbers. The move is pretty lateral to me. Right now I have 5 electric bills, 5 water bills, 5 internet bills, actually 3 internet bills. I have to pay rent on 2 different buildings with sales tax on top of that. I have insurance policies on all 3 buildings. So although the number of this combined is bigger, I'm no longer going to be paying rent. I'm paying myself. I actually decided to own this in Obsessed Garage LLC because we're going to do a cost segregation study to be able to take a significant amount of depreciation next year. So I may end up being able to take a significant write-off next year, reducing my tax burden by quite a bit next year, or in 2024. And then we may transfer ownership to a separate LLC at some point, and I'll pay myself rent on the building. But it's something I own, building, personal, hopefully equity in the future. We could use this building to leverage to go build the long-term plan in the future. But I think this gets us there. We were going to build a building next to OGHQ. I'd own those 2 lots. I was going to be capped at around 9,000 square feet on that building, possibly 8,000. And that was going to cost, about as much as this building cost to buy. So, or close to it. And it was, a third the size, say 40% the size. So I've got the square footage, I've got the space, I've got the parking lot, I've got the room. It's going to look amazing, and so this just felt right. I didn't get any angst, I didn't get any lockup, I didn't have any fear of this place. I could see the vision of it. I think that all the people that work with me could see it as well. It's going to be great to get everybody all under one roof instead of traveling around different buildings. I get to sell a forklift. I get to sell the building that I own on 42. I get to sell the Ford Transit van that I bought. And so I unload a lot of redundancies and will gain a lot of efficiency here. It's going to cost a little bit of money to get this thing up and running, but I'm hoping that some of the equity I have in those other things that I sell offset the basic costs I have in here, because we're going to do all the work ourselves for the vast majority of it. So I hope you're up for the ride. It's going to be a wild one. This is the next step in the evolution of what this brand has become, and hope it's as exciting for you to watch as it is going to be for us to do. So we'll see you for the journey. Be patient with us as we work through the LZ project. We've got a really cool garage in California we're going to do, and we have a really amazing outdoor kitchen we're about to do as well. And then we really start to dig into this place. We'll try to share it with you as much of the updates as possible. Then come early spring, we're going to be full into building the new studio or the new garage, and then gutting this place. So thanks for watching, thanks for being here, thanks for all the support. Without you guys I wouldn't be able to do this, and it's a bit daunting to stand in a room this big that is nothing like what I need, and then having to think through how we're going to make it work and what it's going to look like at the end. I can see it. I hope you can too. If you can't, we're going to show it to you. So we'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.